everybody, my name is Chris and I'm here to talk to you today about the new Hubsan H122D. That is the Storm. That's Hubsan's introduction into the racing world, and this is a completely new thing for them, and it's pretty exciting that they're jumping into this, and I hope it's going to be a success. But again, this is new for Hubsan. They've never made any racers in the past, so this is their first racer. With that being said, the word racer. This is not a racer. And I don't mean any disrespect whatsoever. Just because I do testing for Hubsan and am doing a little review on this doesn't mean I'm gonna sit here and tell you, oh yeah, this is a racer, it's the best little thing you're gonna find, and give you false information. The best way to think about it is this is completely new to Hubsan. This is a starter for them. They've never made racers before, so for you this is a starter. If you've never been into racing, if you want to just get started in it, then this is the perfect model for you. It's a good introduction into the world of racing quads. So with that being said, if you have expectations of buying this as the typical racer that you're used to, if you're an experienced racer, you're going to be very disappointed. If you're new to this, this should make you happy. The downside to this is it's got brush motors. Many people were hoping to see brushless motors, as I was as well, but that's not the case. We got brush motors here. It's not a perfect little flyer. It's got some flaws we pointed out when we tested it. I received 2 of these. This is a demo. It doesn't have any Hubsan markings on it. Whenever I receive a demo, usually that's the way it is. It has no markings on it, or it's got little stickers on it like their batteries. The batteries always just have a little sticker on it, and there's usually some Chinese writing on it, which I don't know what that means. But anyhow, I received 2 of these, and I tested this one here in the US, and I sent the other one out to Ireland to a tester that I chose from one of my groups, and he tested his in Ireland. We did report some problems. Mine had a defect that 1 minute into the flight, it started beeping a low battery voltage warning, and once that started 1 minute into the flight, it continued to beep throughout the whole flight. So I never knew if I really had a low battery or not until it would just do a forced landing. It was pretty annoying because it's a nice little high-pitched beep, and that's all you listen to during the flight, and you focus on that and you get sidetracked and you just don't enjoy the flight. So hopefully that's not a reoccurring issue, but if you start flying yours and it almost instantly starts giving you the low battery indicator beep, then this is going to be a common problem with this. So hopefully they resolve that after we sent our testing reports back in. The other issue is the camera. It's got a 720p camera in it. It is a good concept. It points way up, so when you're flying like this at full speed, it's recording properly. It pitches down a little bit, but if you notice, the frame of the camera, I don't know if you can see that well, but it hits the hood. So this hood right here, it seems like it's pretty tough, but my tester in Ireland, his is chipped and cracked on the inside, and we think that it's probably due to the camera hitting it. Could have happened during shipping, we don't know. The other problem is when you point the camera all the way up, it pinches the ribbon that controls the camera and powers the camera. it pinches that ribbon. So that's going to be a problem because that ribbon's going to get worn out or even pulled out of the board. So that's one thing we reported that hopefully they changed, and when you receive your model, I would be very interested to know if that's something that has been corrected. The other thing is the antenna. It's just a shell, and the wire's pushed up through it. So when you bend it down, sometimes one of the wires pops out and is just hanging there. If you're flying this really rough and you happen to, crash and roll and tumble, that wire can come out. I just think it's a poor design on that part, but not a big issue. So the other question that pops up with this is, does it have acro mode? No, it doesn't have acro mode. No, you can't change any modes. It is what it is right out of the box. I guess the best thing to call it is sport mode. I compare it to flying the 501 in manual mode. It's a little faster than that. It's a quick little flyer. It's not really fast, but it's pretty comparable. If you've ever flown your 501 in manual mode, it's a little bit faster than that, and it flies like that too. It is very responsive when you're going tilt forward, up and down, but if you're flying very fast and you want to make a turn, it will not make a quick hard turn. Flying at a faster speed, when you go to turn, it seems to take a pretty wider turn, pretty much exactly like the 501 model does, and that's not what you expect out of a racer. If you're going to fly this indoors, say in a course or in and out of trees, don't expect it to turn real hard and fast, because it's not going to do it. It's going to take a real wide loop, and if you're doing this indoors, you're going to crash into whatever obstacle course you're running. So basically, it's, like I said, just a beginner. It does do flips. You'll find that when you do the flips, that the procedure that it takes to make it do flips also alters the way you fly. So when you take the sticks and make it do a flip, it affects the way it flies, because they're control sticks. It's not a separate button or anything like that makes it flip. When it flips, it does it great. It does a really good hard flip, forward, backwards, left, right. But if you're in flight and you make it do a flip, it completely loses control. That may be me as a pilot, but the other tester reported the same thing. It's better to do flips if you're just kind of hovering around like this. I'm really interested to see, once everybody receives this, what their reviews are on it, and hopefully that some issues have been taken care of. So that's the Hubsan H122D Storm, and these are now being shipped out, and people should start to receive these soon. So I'm very interested to see what everybody thinks of them. This is the controller for it, which is pretty basic. There's really not much to it. That's a little bit of a disappointment. I would have liked to seen a better controller with more options to where you can change the modes or something. But really, there's not a lot you can do with this controller. It's pretty basic. So the other thing is, I did not get goggles. The goggles consist of a screen that slides inside the goggles. I did not get those to test. So to test this little thing without goggles really was pretty boring. And I probably could have flown it a lot better if I had the goggles too. So I did not test the Hubsan goggles, and anybody that is watching this, and if you're in my group, I would love to see some footage of you flying yours with the Hubsan goggles. I'm told that the goggles are available for the professional package. Hubsan says the goggles were not ready, but members are reporting that they ordered this as a professional package with the goggles. So we'll see if the goggles show up in the packages, and if they do, please share that footage and give a little review on it. And that's it. And I just want to say again, I don't claim to be Hubsan's #1 tester. I'm not the only tester, but again, I do a lot of testing for them. I've tested a lot of products for them. We also have this new Bluetooth controller. I did all the testing on this. I can tell you that myself and 7 other members in my group, as far as I know, we were the only ones that received this Bluetooth controller, and we're the only ones that tested it. Reports that we sent in from all the testing were very good, very positive. It's not a long range, of course. The furthest we got was just over 100 meters with it, so it's really not bad, over 100 meters distance for a Bluetooth controller. But this is something we tested, and is going to be sold with the H501M and some other, it's being sold with some other of their smaller brushed Wi-Fi flyers. But we tested it on the 501A, and it did very well. So that is the Bluetooth controller we tested. And this one I can't tell you about, other than the fact that it's a 501 model. I can't tell you if it's an SS or an A. Again, there's no markings on it, so you can't identify what it is, but it has something new. This is something that I've been working on since April. I will say that it's something I've been pushing for with Hubsan for a long time. They finally have worked on doing something about it, and we started this back in April, and hopefully this resolves a lot of problems for people that are having a certain problem, and it won't just help those people, it will implement something new for every 501 owner. So it's something I can't give you any details about, but once this is done being tested and it is successful, a lot of people are going to be very happy with this. So that's being tested, and this is being tested. This is something that 7 other members of my group also tested when they tested the controller. I can't tell you what's inside this box, but this is totally new for Hubsan, something they've never done, just like the Racer. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised by this. It tested very well. It didn't need anything done to it. So why they haven't released it, I don't know. That might mean that there's a problem with it that they found that we did not find. But I'm anxiously awaiting them to say that I can show this product and talk about it. And I'm also excited to see what other people think about it, because like I said, it is totally new for Hubsan, something they've never done, and I was pretty impressed with the fact that they came out with this, and I was very impressed with how well it tested. So as you see, I have a lot of Hubsan stuff back here. I am a big Hubsan fan. I love helping Hubsan. I love helping all the members of my group. I thank everybody for your support in joining my group. We're in the group to help you and just have a good time and share experiences. I have many models here, mainly 501s. I have the 109 as well. You can see I am like a little Hubsan hobby shop here. I have all kinds of parts. And I don't claim to be the most perfect person either, because I don't always survive my flights. Actually, this happened during a test. This is the 501A. I was testing mixed firmware and different camera firmware at the same time, and got some very odd behavior out of the bird, and she crashed. So I tried flying it some more after doing all my calibrations and making sure everything was okay, and it still flew very bad, and it crashed again until the leg broke. So this is my next rebuild, and I'm gonna also do a video on doing body swaps and what all it entails. So there's always an upside to a crash. But again, thank you all very much for watching, and when you get your little Hubsan Storm in the mail and you start flying it, please break out your video cameras, make some videos, do some reviews, share them in the group, and most importantly, be very informative to other people that are interested. That's the most important thing. Anybody else that's interested in this, any information you give in the groups is very beneficial for other people. Plus, if you're reporting common problems or common things that you do not like about this, it just helps Hubsan design something better the next time. So hopefully the next one we'll see brushless motors and some other little issues taken care of, and they'll grow up to make a bigger brother that's much better than this. But buy it. It's a good little beginner. I think you will enjoy it, and especially if you have the goggles, I think it'll be something that will make you very happy. So good luck, and thank you once again.